Hey guys, I'm Alan with Keepical. We're keeping groups together. Most of you know me as a Mastermind group facilitator and a program director. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. What I want to talk about this time around is what I believe makes an ideal or great Mastermind group member. And so the number one item is attitude. That's something you can screen for and something you can encourage. And so really a good attitude is just the overarching concept is that one gives before they get. Other ways of putting that is to think in terms of what goes around comes around, or the golden rule, or a belief in karma, this kind of thing. And so people that take on that attitude or live that way above all, they really help with the strength of a group. Now, the polar opposite of that is what I call a taker. And this is somebody that may skip a meeting because they don't have an issue that month. You know, there's something that's more important. Or they may leave early because they've got something that has come up, or they're not as attentive during the meeting. And this is a person that's really thinking, well, what's in it for me? And they forget that they're there to also help the other people in the group. So then also a good member will take responsibility for what role they've accepted in the group. A good member arrives on time, they come prepared, and they stay to the end. An ideal member respects the time and needs of others in the group. They're attentive during the meeting, they're active listeners, and they engage in thoughtful feedback. And so what about those that play well with others? An ideal member is very positive and constructive. They give tough love, but they're compassionate for the needs of others. On the other hand, I'd say that there's probably three main characteristics that are somewhat more disruptive. You can all identify with this. There's those that seem like pleasers. They can't bring themselves to give a bit of critical feedback for fear that they may hurt someone's feelings or that somebody may think less of them. Another person that's kind of the polar opposite is what I call the thoughtless bully, and this is somebody that just does a data dump on the person across the table from them, and then that person just hears criticism instead of the constructive feedback. And then the third person that really seems to suck the energy out of the room is the rambler. When they start their hot seat time, they'll eat their entire time period up just asking their question. And then when it comes to feedback time, then again, when they'll say, hey, I got a point, and then they just ramble for 5 minutes and eat up the time. So these are three people that you want to try to steer away from those edges. A great member is positive, they're engaging with the group, they're honest about their opinion, they are firm but compassionate, and they get their point across in as few words as possible. They organize their thoughts before they open their mouth. A good member is also open to feedback and accepts that for what it is and does not take it personally like some sort of character assassination. They take on the challenge. A good member will give a real and meaningful commitment that's going to actually move the ball forward. And when they come back, they've made a true and honest effort to fulfill that commitment. An ideal member is willing to open up and reveal themselves and be a little vulnerable. That helps build family bonds in the group. But then they don't treat the meetings as a psychology session. Or the group as some sort of emotional support group. There are groups organized for that purpose, and they serve a really good need. However, a mastermind group is designed around the idea of making progress towards one's individual goals. And that's why a mastermind group exists. A good member will stay in touch with the other members and you as the facilitator between meetings. And they would do that through whatever venue or method that you've got designed into your system, whether it's a message form or some sort of text or calls, or you maybe do coaching sessions in between. And so finally, an ideal member pays their bills. If the group is not supported financially and somebody becomes a collection problem, then that disrupts everything else. And so just try to screen for that, make sure that they understand that they're responsible. So what do you do to fill your group and maintain members in your group that you would consider ideal? Screen for the characteristics up front, monitor for them at all times, provide encouragement when they do what you like, discourage them when they run astray of these characteristics, but above all, be compassionate and firm, and stay on top of it from day one. In the long run, your members will thank you because you'll run a so much better, more constructive, productive group. So today I hope you got something from my little video clip. I want to thank you for Keepical, and we're keeping groups together. I also want to hear from you if you've got any kind of key feedback or comments you'd like to make. Please get in touch. You can always reach us at keepical.com. We'd love to hear from you.